You know, we use thousands upon thousands of words every single day, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about them? It turns out some of the most common, simple words we use, well, they're holding some of the biggest secrets about how our language actually works. Okay, look at this number, 850. Just 850. Now, what if I told you that this number represents a complete, fully functional version of the English language? I know, it sounds absolutely impossible, but believe it or not, it's true.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Could you get through your entire day, your job, talking with friends, shooting off a text message, all with the vocabulary of just 850 words? It feels incredibly small, doesn't it?
Well, way back in the 1930s, that's the exact idea behind a system called Basic English. A group of linguists figured out you could build a simplified version of the language using a core list of just 850 words. But here's the secret sauce. It wasn't about limiting what you could say. It was about picking words that could do a whole bunch of different jobs.
So how on earth does that actually work in practice? Well, we're going to grab one of those 850 words and stick it right under the microscope. And our specimen for today is that simple three-letter word, net. So let me ask you, when you hear the word net, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it something for catching butterflies? Maybe something you hit a volleyball over? Just hold on to that picture for a minute.
Because that little word, it is an absolute powerhouse. It's doing way more work than we probably give it credit for. So yeah, let's take a much closer look.
All right, first up, let's look at the job we all know best. Net as a noun. This is the thing version of the word, the object. And what I love about this definition is just how beautifully simple it is. A thing made of ropes or string that lets small things through but keeps big things in. That's it. It's all about pure function.
And we see it perfectly in this example, right? I forgot my fishing net. Here, net is a real physical object. It's a tool you can actually hold. This is net in its most basic form.
But here's the thing. Net doesn't just sit there being an object. Oh no, it also takes action. And that brings us to its second job, its role as a verb.
And what's so cool here is how the action is directly tied to the noun. To net something literally means you are using a net to catch it. The object becomes the action itself. It's so efficient.
Look at this sentence. He netted a big fish. It's so short, so powerful. That one word, netted, does all the work of saying he caught a big fish using a net. It's clean, it's a perfect example of a word pulling double duty.
But wait, we're not done yet. Net has a third job, and this one feels totally different from the first two. It can also be an adjective.
Yeah, this is the net you hear about in business, or maybe when you're looking at your paycheck. Net income, net worth. When it's used like this, net is describing what's left over after everything else has been taken away. It's the final amount, the bottom line. And this table just lays it all out so perfectly. Look at the incredible range of this one little word. It's a noun, a physical object. It's a verb, a specific action. And it's an adjective, a final value. I mean, that is some serious heavy lifting for just 3 letters. Okay, so let's zoom back out. What's the big deal? What can we take away from this little deep dive into the word net? Well, a big takeaway is this. Some words are basically the multi-tools of our language. They're like a Swiss Army knife, They look small and simple from the outside, but you open them up and boom, they have all these different, distinct tools ready for totally different jobs. And this brings us right back to where we started. This is exactly why a system like Basic English can even exist. You don't need a massive vocabulary if the 850 words you have are little powerhouses like net. When one word can do this many jobs, you can talk about really complex ideas with a surprisingly simple toolkit. It just goes to show you the hidden power that's buzzing away inside the everyday words we use without even thinking about it. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. The next time you're talking to someone or just thinking to yourself, pay attention to those simple words. What other little multi-tools are hiding in plain sight in your own vocabulary? I bet you'll be surprised by what you find.